On a chilly November morning, I stood at the delta of the Mtopanga River, just off the famous Pirates Beach in Mombasa. The river was a sight to behold, its waters flowing with power and majesty as they emptied into the Indian Ocean. On its banks, lush mangrove forests stretched out as if applauding the river, the source of their life. In November 2023, I went on a journey to the banks of the Mtopanga River in Mombasa, Kenya. The river, once choked with pollution, is now restored to its beauty thanks to the efforts of several communities around the river. Join me as I explore the river's transformation and learn how the community is not only saving the river, but also creating a sustainable livelihood. My name is Steve Mokaya, and I welcome you to this podcast. Occasional plastic bottles mar the river's waters, a reminder of the pollution that once threatened the river's existence, but this was not always the case. Until recently, the Mtopanga River was choked with pollution, its future uncertain. Then, the communities living around the river decided to take action. They formed the Mtopanga River Community-Based Organization, CBO, and began the arduous task of cleaning up the river. The CBO's work started slowly, with volunteers collecting waste from the river, but they soon realized that this was not sustainable. They needed a way to make waste collection profitable. The CBO began collecting waste from the river and is using to create valuable products. This not only reduced the amount of waste in the river, but also generated income for their community.
Zamani tulikuwa tunafanya river cleaning. Lakini katika ile river cleaning issue iko sustainable. Sababu unasafisha mto, lakini baadaye pia kesho kikuti utapata hali ile ile. But sisi kama CBO tulipochukua hatua ya kwamba kuturn waste into value. Kiwango cha takataka ambazo zinakuja katika inaingia katika bahari imepungua kwa kiasi kikubwa sana. Tunashukuru kwa sababu CBO imecheza part ya kwamba kuhakikisha kwamba hizi plastiki tunazichukua.
Charles Vuko, the head of the ecotourism unit, says they collect discarded tires from the river and use them to make floaters and lifesavers for tourists who go swimming at the beach. They also use plastic waste to produce flower vases for home decorations, dustbins, and other valuable items.
Kuna zile taya ambazo zimeharibika zinatolewa kwa gari, then sisi kama zimetupa tunachukua tunazipa, tunajaza hewa, so watalii wanapata kutumia kama life saving. Ingine turning waste into value, kutumia plastic. Ukiangalia kama utaona kama flower vase, na tengeneza hizi flower vase, panda maua, tunatengeneza dustbin. Unapata watu wengi kama wanapanda miti wanatumia polythene bag, ambao polythene bag kila mmoja anafahamu kwamba imebaniwa. So unapata ukitumia ile ukiweka kwa nursery, mteja anapokuja ananunua, ama unapochukua unaenda kupanda, unatoa ile polythene bag unatupa, inarudi kuchafua mazingira. So inakuwa ndio umepanda miti, lakini unapata umechafua nini? Umechafua mazingira. Ambao sasa tumekaa tukaona, tukakuja na njia, tukaona tutumie nini? Hii coconut husk. So unapata kwamba coconut husk unapokata, unatoboku chini, then unaweka mmea wako, unaweka mchanga, unaweka mmea wako, unaweka pale kwa nursery. Wakati mmea unakuwa unaenda kupanda, hautoi tena hii coconut husk upande mmea peke yake. Already ukiangalia unaona unakuwa umeshika. Unaenda unapanda hivyo hivyo.
The 50-member CBO has gained recognition for its innovative approach to conservation, which includes crafting durable and low-maintenance boats from recycled plastic bottles. Suleiman Said, the CBO skill boat builder, emphasizes the superior durability of plastic boats compared to their wooden counterparts, requiring minimal upkeep. This unique initiative effectively amplifies the CBO's conservation message within Mombasa community.
Chupa ni tofauti na mbao. Chupa mwanzo haiozi kwa sababu ni plastic. Mbao inaoza. Chupa itadumu kushinda mbao. Ndio tukaona afadhali tutumia chupa, itakuwa muda ni mrefu na itadumu. Tunahifadhi chupa zisisambae baharini. Tunahifadhi hata mifuko ya plastic isisambae baharini. Maono yangu, kwanza samaki wengi watajimudu, watakuwa wengi. Wajua wanyama wa baharini wakila vitu plastiki wanakufa. Sasa sisi twaona kwa vile tuko baharini 24/7, twaona afadhali kitu ambacho cha dhuru samaki tukitumie tutengeneze boti.
The plastic boat serves as an additional tourist attraction, according to Suleiman's assistant, Miriam Ndune.
Nina mafunzo kidogo ananifunza Mr. Said, tuna ujuzi, tunaendelea kufunzwa. Imefanya watu wanakuja pia sana, wanataka kuona boat ya plastic inakaa vipi. Imefanya kama tourism pia imeenuka kidogo. Wanakuwa amazing, wanaangalia, hawajawahi kuiona kitu kama hii. Kwa hivyo pia bado inatukuzia utalii vizuri.
Mchombo observed that the use of plastic for boat construction has helped to preserve mangrove forest in Mombasa. As a result, fishermen are increasingly turning to plastic boats instead of wooden ones.
Tunatumia hiyo kwenda kuvua nao samaki, na pia imesaidia pia wavuvi, kwa sababu tunapata ya kwamba tulikuwa tunaweza kukata mbao, kukata miti kuweza kutengeneza boat, lakini jinsi vile walivyokuja, jinsi vile tuliweza kutengeneza hiyo boat, ile kiwango cha ukataji miti ili kuweza kutengeneza boat imepungua kwa kiasi kikubwa, kwa sababu community wameembrace kutumia nini, wameembrace kutumia plastic boat rather than the wood boat.
The Mtopanga River's conservation and restoration are a collective endeavor involving various governmental and private organizations. Among these participants is Bamburi Cement Lafarge Ecosystems, the environmental arm of Bamburi Cement Company. This organization is committed to quarry rehabilitation, biodiversity management, indigenous vegetation conservation, and wildlife management. Their efforts have been instrumental in safeguarding the Mtopanga River's ecological integrity and ensuring its enduring viability for future generations. Rose Sally, the Lafarge's chief operating officer, emphasized their commitment to river conservation through quarterly cleaning and educational initiatives.
River Mtopanga passes through our properties. This is mainly at the Bamburi Forest Trails. So it has a stretch of about 700 meters. So what we normally do is we have quarterly programs where we have our staff and also the community coming together. And actually we have programs where we have educational awareness on quarterly basis and make sure that we clean up the river, in which we've involved Bamburi Primary School that is next to us in just allowing the future generation to be aware of the impact of the waste that goes into the Indian Ocean. Then from that they're able to know how to protect the environment and also take care of nature.
In an effort to curb plastic pollution in the ocean, Lafarge Ecosystem has deployed waste intercepts along the river as per Paul Opere, the Rehabilitation and Aquatic Resources Officer.
So what we've done by design along the flow line is to have intercept points, which basically reduces traps of the solid waste, different solid waste, and that makes them into points where they're easy for collection. So this intercept is basically a designed point where it only allows the water to move, much water movement, and traps all the solid waste, pushes them aside for ease of access and ease of collection. So there's a wire mesh line along the first entry point of the river into our ecosystem, and this actually holds up the bulk of the plastic loads and all the other solid waste that would otherwise flow with the river. In case some still move past the first intercept, we have a second intercept that only allows water to move through, and again would hold off the other load of solid waste that will be moving along the river as it flows. And that is where we now come in to do the collection, monitoring.
Moreover, he said that the vegetation along the riverbank acts as a natural filtration system, effectively trapping pollutants, particularly through the intricate network of tree roots.
We also have nature playing as a natural intercept. Along the riverine ecosystem, we have trees. By structure of the roots, these also act as very great natural intercepts. And in fact, for ease of trapping waste that would otherwise, by velocity of the river and the way sometimes during the rains, overflowing of the river would make some waste still pass through the other intercepts. This control naturally all the waste that would have otherwise passed all the intercepts still be held within the river stretch.
After collection of the waste from the river, the Bamburi Cement Lafarge Ecosystem segregates and collects data of the waste thus collected for tracking and monitoring so as to inform more conservation strategies.
After the segregation, we must weigh to know how much we've been able to collect, and it's separated into different wastes where we have like the plastics last year, I think it was about 47% of what was collected, and we got about 1,700 kilograms from just the area that we were covering. This year, so far, we collected up to 1.8 tons of litter from that river.
The Lafarge takes pride in its work on River Mtopanga's conservation, which they say has immensely impacted the health of the Mombasa Marine Park and the ocean in general, thus boosting tourism in the area.
What I must say is that it's a great success. It is a great success because as we do this, considering the amount of tourists, visitors that come to the Indian Ocean, because from where we are, the end of the Bamburi Forest Trails, the ocean is just about 200 meters away. So when we do this collection and intercept it at this area, we really save a lot of waste that goes into the Indian Ocean, and we're able to provide a clean environment, and which, you know, when we have the tourists coming in, then we find we have the clean waters and the marine is not affected as well.
3 years ago, Coastal and Marine Resource Development, Comrade, established the Mombasa Smart Sustainable City Forum under the Mijibora project. This forum led to the formation of 5 technical working groups, one of which is the Transformative River Management. This group is focused on restoring the Mtopanga River, an initiative that will also help protect the ocean and the Mombasa Marine Park. Dr. Innocent Wanyonyi, Comrade's Director for Sustainable Cities Program, said Mtopanga River is crucial in the economy of Mombasa City, hence their focus on shepherding its restoration and conservation.
The number one economic activity that is bringing income to the city of Mombasa is tourism, followed by port operations. So the moment you have interfered with the Mombasa Marine Park as a tourism attraction, no tourist will be willing to visit a place which is non-appealing to the eye. It will not be good for snorkeling, it will not be good for diving, and it will not be good for beach walking. So the consequence is that we shall have less tourists. Naturally, if we disrupt the main attractions by allowing Mtopanga River to be dirty, then we are going to lose that to our neighboring countries. So that's why we think Mtopanga River is useful to conserve.
Moreover, he emphasized the crucial role of the river's conservation in maintaining biodiversity and ensuring its preservation, particularly within the marine park. He stated that Comrade intends to fund some of the river's conservation efforts during the second phase of the river's transformative management project.
The marine park is barely 5 kilometers from here, and the marine park contains the coral gardens with a lot of seagrass, a lot of biodiversity, a lot of fish. For us to be more successful, we need to go far beyond setting up the technical working group and actually financing the activities that were planned there. So we are not there yet, and the project that we were undertaking was a 3-year project called Mijibora, and this one lapsed, so we are in the second phase of planning for the next phase of activities. These kind of things can be done beyond the time of the project, and yes, we are thinking of how to finance some of the activities on Mtopanga River.
Despite the encouraging progress being made by various conservation initiatives that suggest a brighter future for the river, Mchombo implores the government to formally designate Mombasa's Soul River as a protected area, thereby bolstering conservation efforts and enhancing tourism potential in the region.
Sisi kama wana Mtopanga tungependa kusii serikali yetu ya kwamba tuna mto hapa, na hii mto watu wengine wakitaka kuja kuiangalia, wakiangalia katika Google Map haionekani. So mtu anasema tutakuja kuhifadhi mto ambao hata haionekani. So mimi ningependa zile idara husika waangalie kwamba hii mto imefanywa nini, imefanywa gazettement. Hii mto ikifanywa gazettement italeta watalii wengi wakuja kuizuru. Watalii watakuja kuona the shortest river in the world. So wakikuja wakiangalia tunapata mapato kupitia kwa hii mto.
The river is now regaining its status, and the positive effects are evident to all, including increased biodiversity at the delta and a boost in research tourism, according to Beatrice Jerop, a supervisor at the Kenya Wildlife Service, who has been instrumental in the river's conservation efforts.
Long ago, Mtopanga River was doomed as a dead river, but now with the management intervention that we have put in, you can feel the aesthetic value of the river, and it's appealing to the visitors, and in turn it has created jobs. The youths are engaging themselves in tourism through the river. People would like to witness the kind of vegetation. And also we have researchers who are coming in form of tourists. They want to witness how is the biodiversity thriving within the delta ecosystem. Like mangroves, you find mangrove species, they thrive well within the deltas and they grow faster compared to others that are just exposed within the saline area. Yes, like a species like Lamsera losimosa, that is a common species of mangrove that thrives well in riverine ecosystems.
Thank you for being part of this episode. I'm Steve Mokaya, your host and fellow traveler.